All right, listen up. Today, we're going on a mission, a high-stakes digital heist. Your target, the biggest, most influential oracle on the planet, ChatGPT. And your job is to make sure it knows your name. This isn't just marketing. This is about stealing the spotlight. So here's the mission, if you choose to accept it. Your target is that complex AI algorithm. And your goal? Simple, brand visibility. When millions of people ask it questions, we need to make sure your brand is the answer. This right here? This is your playbook.
You know, every good heist story kicks off with a problem, right? A moment of just pure panic. So let's set the scene for what we're calling the opening night panic.
It all starts with a question, just a simple question. Picture your CEO. Maybe they're in a big boardroom meeting, and they decide to ask ChatGPT something about your industry. They're totally expecting to see your brand's name right there at the top. But then, the answer comes back, and bam, there they are. Your top 3 competitors getting all the glory. And your brand is just gone, nowhere to be found. You are completely invisible. Can you imagine the silence in that room? The stakes, my friend, could not be higher. And let's talk about the scale of this thing, because that's why this mission is so critical. 5.5 billion. That's how many visits ChatGPT got in a single month. This isn't some little chatbot. It's one of the busiest, most trafficked information sources in human history. Being invisible here? Yeah, that's not an option.
And the clock is ticking. Gartner's forecasting that by 2026, a full quarter, 1 out of every 4 clicks that used to go to traditional search is going to be going to AI assistants instead. Your audience is literally migrating to a new world, and if you're not there to greet them, guess who will be? Your competitors. So, how do we fight back? It is time to go on the offensive. Look, you don't get mentioned by this AI by accident. You need a plan, a master blueprint. You need a strategy to crack the code.
And this requires a huge shift in how you think. The old game of SEO, that was all about chasing keywords. But this new game, what we're calling LLM SEO, it's about chasing questions. You have to become the absolute best, most citable answer to the questions your real-life audience is asking. Okay, so how do you actually do that? You make your content extraction-friendly. You got to structure your web pages so the AI can just easily grab your info. Use super clear stat boxes and tables for data. Use layered schema so the AI understands the context. Beef up your author bios to show off your expertise and trustworthiness. And this one is absolutely crucial. Refresh your timestamps. We're seeing that pages less than 90 days old show up 3 times more often in AI answers. Freshness matters a lot. Now, no great heist is a solo job, right? You need a crew, a team of specialists, each with a very unique skill. So here are the 5 agents, the tools, that you're going to need to pull this off. First up is Contently. Think of this as your crew's mastermind. It actually scores your content against all those AI factors we just talked about and can automatically add the schema for you. And the proof? A pilot program saw a 32% jump in sales leads coming directly from these AI answers. It works. Next is Awario. This is your surveillance expert. It is watching over 13 billion pages every single day. And it's got a brand new feature that specifically tracks if and how ChatGPT is mentioning you. This is your eye in the sky.
Now meet your inside person, Diffbot. It runs a massive knowledge graph that a lot of AIs already know and trust. And with its new API, you can basically push your structured company facts directly into the system. It's like giving the AI a verified cheat sheet all about you.
Agent number 4 is SparkToro, your reconnaissance specialist. This tool tells you exactly what questions your audience is asking and, more importantly, which sources they already trust online. This is how you map out the entire territory before you make a single move. And finally, we have StoryChief, your distribution expert. Once your content is perfectly optimized, StoryChief blasts it out across all your channels. This creates what we call independent echoes all over the web. It builds a consensus around your facts, which reinforces your authority in the eyes of the AI. All right, you've got the blueprint. You've assembled your expert crew. Now for the main event. Here is the 5-step caper for executing this heist, move by move.
Okay, let's run through the plan. Step 1, case the vault. Use Awario to see exactly where you stand right now. Step 2, crack the floor plan. Use Contently to find your weakest pages and fix them. 3, plant the diversion. Syndicate your best content everywhere with StoryChief to build that authority. 4, install the backdoor. Use something like Diffbot to create that direct data feed. And finally, step 5, trigger the alarms. Set up alerts to track your progress and make sure you hold your ground.
And now, for the best part of any heist, the payoff. After a successful operation, it's time to debrief the mission and see what we've won. And the results? Well, they speak for themselves. In just a couple of content sprints, this exact strategy took a brand's share of voice, that's their visibility in AI answers, from a pretty grim 18% all the way up to 61%. That is the difference between being a nobody and being the main event. Now, let's do a quick debrief. We gotta bust a couple of myths that can totally sabotage your mission. First up, this idea that one gigantic 10,000-word article is always the best strategy.
The reality? Large language models couldn't care less about how long your article is. They care about clarity. They will always find and quote the clearest, most direct snippet that answers the user's question. So you need to think in atomic answers, not giant essays.
And the second big myth, this is the one everybody wishes were true. Can't I just, pay for a spot, buy an ad?
Nope, not a chance. Unlike Google Search, there is no pay-to-play option here. You can't buy your way into these organic AI answers. This is earned media, pure and simple. You have to earn the AI's trust the hard way.
So, let's wrap with your final mission briefing. These are the 5 core principles you absolutely have to remember. 1. Build your content around questions. 2. Make your pages ridiculously easy to quote. 3. Create echoes of your content all over the web to build consensus. 4. Feed the AI directly whenever you can. And 5. Always keep your monitors on.
Look, the future of how we find information is already here. The spotlight is turning to AI. And the only question left for you is this. When that spotlight shines on your industry, is your brand going to be on stage, or are you going to be left in the dark?